family is not. I leave my husband a voicemail. Hey, where are you? I say. For weeks, my child has been obsessed with a video game called Daphne. In Daphne, you're on an island. You're a man who has lost something, and you wander around the island, muttering to yourself. The island is beset by mist. The mist sprouts seabirds, cliffs. Go left down a path to the ocean. Turn right through a doorway and descend a flight of stairs. There's something else there, moaning. From somewhere deep inside, the island is trying to speak. To get closer to the source, you enter a dark cave. The farther in you go, the more you're able to see. The walls of the cave are glowing blue with something alive or dead. You can just make out your booted feet. The moaning grows louder. Yet the first-person player's muttering can be heard above everything else. His footsteps on the rocky path, my child alone in their room. I hear it like a song at night, mutter, moan, and step. But now their computer is sleeping. I shut a bedroom window. Then I go downstairs and open the door and call for the cat in the fog. In a book I've been reading about a painter in the early 20th century, there's a passage about how she, the painter, Paula, liked to be alone. Newly married, thus newly renamed, whenever her husband, Otto Modersohn, went away on a trip, she'd paint and paint and paint, and at whatever hour she liked, she'd stop to eat and would not set the table. No candles, no meat. At dinner, she'd read Goethe with rice pudding. Half of me is still Paula Becker, she wrote, and the other half is acting as if it were. But since I have to be on campus by 8, into the shining microwave I toss a frozen burrito. Then I text my husband, I am not leaving, I have to go to work. The street lamps in the mist are wild pearls of light. I nod at a passing neighbor, walk down a half-hidden path. I cross a 6-lane street. Next comes the row of campus garages wrapped with metal screens. Everything is sculpture, maybe, which ripple and clink in the wind. Here is the staircase lined with dogwoods, which blossom tunnels each spring. And then I pass the gates of the experimental prairie. I stop beside a bench. Hello, where are you? I text. A plastic sign near the concrete path introduces the grasses by name. Sideouts grama, foul manna. The cluster of flowers, it says, is called an inflorescence. Most of the plants come up to my chest, but here and there a thistle rises high above everything else, its bulbous purple head atop a thin green stalk. The tallest thistle brings to mind a camera, possibly alive, a sentient alien technology transmitting news of Earth. Cursed is the ground because of you, God allegedly said. Both thorns and thistles it shall grow. But I often feel like a thistle myself, a bulbous inflorescence transmitting news of Earth. Inside the lecture hall, the walls are lined with latecomers who couldn't get a seat, and between these standing people are paintings from the 80s by a former professor's wife, the people in them color-blocked and bent. The visiting writer is celebrated. Tens of thousands follow her. She takes a sip as people watch. Then she clears her throat. She places her glass on the lectern, but she sets it down in such a way that her face is inside the water. That is, from where I sit in the room, the water in the cup contains her entire face. Anyway, I think, they're probably back by now, with homework spread out on the table, and, I hope, feeding the cat. You need to get back to me, please, I type, then set my phone to silent. The visitor begins. She's reading us a story about a woman on a trip. The woman has lost her glasses in a desolate public space. A stranger, a man, offers to help. He leads her down a sidewalk. It's starting to get dark, but the two continue to walk. Someone beside me sneezes. I quickly slip back in. The story is like a spell. There's a road, a woman, upheaval.